This summer, a lot of people are going to trust you. Hi, I'm Dr. G. I'm a youth development expert, and I want to help you know when you need to worry about the people who tell you important things and when they're doing okay. You're about to become what's called a near-peer mentor. That's someone who's a few years older than the people they're working with, meaning your campers and younger counselors. As a near-peer mentor, you're going to find people not only looking up to you and wanting to hang out with you, but also confiding stuff in you. Personal stuff. Thoughts and feelings and experiences that are important to them. Whether you're sitting on a bus or walking through camp, eating a meal or doing an activity, you're going to learn what's really going on in some of these people's lives. When that happens, there are 4 things for you to keep in mind. Number 1, it's a gift. Telling you something private is a way that this person is letting you know that they trust you and your support matters to them. So, like any time you get a gift, say thank you. Even if you're not sure what else to say or how to react, you can always thank them for telling you something important to them. Also, they trusted you, so don't gossip about what you've learned. You may very well need to tell a supervisor or another adult who's in a better position than you are to help, but don't tell anyone who doesn't need to know. That's hurtful and unprofessional. Number 2, you don't have to know how to feel or what they should do. Most times that people share their struggles, they're not looking for instructions about what to do next. If they only wanted instructions, they'd probably look on YouTube. They need to know you're listening and you care. So whether you do or don't know exactly how you feel about what they told you or what you think they should do, always start with validation and empathy. You can say things like, I hear how important this is to you, or that sounds really hard, or I'm so sorry that happened. You don't have to lie and say you'd feel like they're feeling, and you shouldn't make it about you or something that happened to you. Just help them feel seen and heard. 3, you have to figure out if you're worried about this person. Often, you're going to hear things that were hard, but aren't still putting them in any kind of physical or emotional risk now. But you may hear a story or learn something from a camper or another staff person that makes you think they are still at risk. If that happens, you need to kick it up the chain. This is a phrase to remind people who work with kids that even if something isn't bad enough, like child abuse, to kick it out to the police or children and youth services, it still might be risky enough to get someone with more experience than you involved in helping this person be safe. And that's called kicking it up. So, how are you supposed to know when to kick it up? Ask yourself these questions. First, is this person in distress? Look at their facial expressions, their body language. Listen to their tone of voice and the words they're using. Some people get louder or more dramatic when something's really wrong, but some people close in and shut others out. And if you're not sure, kick it up. Next, has their behavior changed at camp? In addition to the time you spend talking to this person, check out how they act in other situations. Are they enjoying themselves less? Are they not as interested in hanging out with people who were their friends? Are they not eating at meals? Do they look like they're not getting enough sleep? Changing their patterns in any other noticeable way? Those are all reasons to keep a closer eye on this person and mention to your supervisor why you're concerned. Next, did they mention anything dangerous? If a camper or another staff person even mentions suicide or cutting or self-harm, you don't have to decide if they mean it. It's not your job to know if they're serious or just talking or even making it up to get attention. It should get attention. Words have power, and you don't need to decide if this is a real cry for help or not. Just get help. In the same way, if a camper or staff person talks about being afraid of someone or getting hurt, you don't have to figure out if it really happened. Get a supervisor to help you. And if you're just not sure, you're working this summer as a youth development professional, but that doesn't make you an expert yet. So don't carry the weight alone. If you're not sure if you should worry, kick it up to a supervisor. There are experts in this at your camp, and it's too much for you to handle all by yourself. And last, take care of you. Whatever this person has told you, it likely gives you some strong feelings as well. If you've been through something similar or struggled in some way that this brings up for you, don't ignore that. You probably won't share with the person who's leaning on you, the camper or the counselor who's telling you about their difficulties, but you should lean on your own support network. You definitely can tell your supervisor or mentor what you're experiencing as a result of this conversation. Empathy is a really useful skill, but it can make the helper feel a whole lot. And if you don't do some self-care, it can cause you to struggle yourself. So when someone tells you something important, be proud of yourself. You've earned their trust. Look at the person and ask yourself if you're worried. If you are, or even if you're just not sure, check in with your supervisor and take care of yourself. There are a lot of folks counting on you this summer, and you can do this.